All right, y'all. The verdict is finally in after literally years of waiting. The verdict is finally in about student loan forgiveness and Grandpa Biden. The people are not happy. Listen, let's go ahead and talk about it. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hey y'all, I just released my first financial literacy ebook, How I Became Debt Free in 22 Months. This is an easy, educational, and encouraging guide. I want you to check it out. It's only $5. Look in the link in the description box below and click that button. In a 6-3 devastating vote, the SCOTUSes came to the agreement that Grandpa Biden does not have the legal authority to forgive billions of dollars, or probably trillions of dollars in student loan debt. In addition, they also said, we know that you are citing the HEROES Act, but there's no legal standing there. So remember, the Biden administration was citing the HEROES Act, which basically says that in times of economic distress, i.e. what happened due to COVID, that the president can help out the public, help out the economy by forgiving debts. And he was saying, hey, I can forgive student loan debt. The Supreme Court pushed back and said, no, you cannot. This has to go through Congress first. So, of course, this was not the response that many of the folks were hoping for, y'all. Even me, y'all know I got a little refund check back because I paid off my loans during the pandemic. And y'all, I was hoping I could have ran to the bank and cashed that sucker before it closed a business. But that is not happening because this thing is a no-go. President Biden has already stepped in front of the people, and he's already given his thoughts on this. So let me grab my notes and let's get into what Mr. Biden has said about this whole thing. All right, y'all, so I got my notes. I did watch the address. It was pretty short. Mr. Biden got straight to the point. I want to say that it was about 11 minutes long. It aired today, Friday, June 30th, at about 3:30ish Eastern time, I believe. But I wrote down the major points here. So the first thing that Biden talked about was what he's already done for student loan forgiveness. So he talked about increasing Pell Grants. He talked about revamping the PSLF program, which is the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Many people, they were always marketing that, you pay on your loans for 10 years and then we're going to forgive them. Many people were doing that, but they were not getting approved for the smallest reasons. I think it had like a 7% of approval rate. But Biden has recently kind of overhauled that. And y'all, many folks have gotten their loans forgiven through the new terms, right? I know somebody who got like $80K forgiven. So this is a thing. You can still apply for this. And I'll probably make a video about that at a later date. He also talked about the income repayment plan and how he's overhauled that. So I want to say previously folks had to pay 10% of like their average earnings or their annual earnings. He's now overhauled that where folks only have to pay 5% of their earnings. And then he said after 20 years that would be forgiven, but I thought it was 10. So somebody drop down in the comments and check me on that. Now here's where it got just a little spicy, okay? So Mr. Biden talked about how, these PPP loans, these millionaires were getting these PPP loans for their businesses and they got bailed out. They got these loans forgiven. So what he said was, how can we do that for the millionaires, but y'all won't let me forgive student loans? It's hypocrisy. I was like, oh, Grandpa, I agree with you on that, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. But, the student loans, everybody's, got their panties in a bunch regarding it. So Mr. Biden did talk about that, and I agree with him on that point. Now, Uncle Biden also addressed the folks and said that, hey, we are not going to stop trying to get the people student loan forgiveness. We're actually going to try another angle. So what they're saying is that they are going to try under the Higher Education Act to discharge student loans. But listen, here's what he said that kind of perked my ears up. They are going to try to waive or release loans under certain circumstances, right? So that obviously means that it's not going to be a widespread thing, that you are going to have, if this happens, that you are going to have to meet certain requirements. Biden did say that this is going to take much longer, but Michael Cardona, who's the Secretary of Ed, he's already started on this, and they're trying to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. Now, as you know, payments are starting back in October, but interest is going to start back September 1st, I believe. So Biden acknowledged that. Listen, I know these payments are coming back. I know that people's, budgets are going to be even tighter. So they did talk about another plan that they are going to put into effect to help the people out, right? So this is called a temporary 12-month on-ramp repayment program. This is not the payment pause. So interest is still going to be accruing. Payments are still going to be due. He did say if you can pay, you need to do that. But let's say that you miss a payment or you're not able to for 12 months, you're not going to fall into delinquency, or it's not going to be reported to your credit. Now, I was a little confused because I'm not sure if he was saying that for 12 months that's not going to happen, or they're going to wait a year to report to the credit union. I'm not quite sure, but basically it sounded like, he was trying to throw the people a bone here. Once again, this is not the payment pause. Payments will still be due. Interest will still be accruing. He's still encouraging the folks that, hey, if you can pay, but if not, here are the two things that are not going to happen because you can't pay. All right, y'all. So I want to know, what are your thoughts about this? Did you think that this was going to happen? Do you think that Biden knew all along that this wasn't going to happen? Politics can be a little tricky there. Did Biden know that this was not going to be a sure thing, and maybe he was just trying to buy himself some time, or, keep his fingers crossed that it was going to happen? I hear a lot of folks saying that Biden already knew that he couldn't do this without Congress. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. And also, what are your plans? Right now, I'm not going to say right now, this thing is a no-go. As far as I'm concerned, this thing is a no-go. So drop that in the comments and let me know, what are your plans to tackle your student loan debt? I'm going to do another video that talks about folks like myself who got refunds because they paid during the pandemic, and what steps you should take there. But listen, y'all sound off in my comments, and I'm going to be going live soon, so make sure you tune into my live stream, and I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.